Poké Darlings, and welcome back to my channel. I am really fortunate to be here with Dawnspiplup, who you may know from the Pokemon community. She's known for her TikTok videos and being on Twitch, and also just a really fun Instagram account. So I'm really stoked to have Dawn here with us to talk about some of the misogyny and harassment happening in our community. So please give a warm welcome to Dawn. Dawn, do you want to introduce yourself at all?
Yeah, I think you pretty much just said everything there. But yeah, I'm really liking being more involved with the community at the moment, so I'm really happy to be here.
That's awesome. So I'm going to show some examples of the work that Dawn has given to us or gifted us that basically what I've seen from it reveal some of the instances of misogyny and harassment in the community. And I think it's really important what Dawn's been doing because it is giving us actual information and facts of what's happening. And I think it's really important.
I'm Dawnspiplup. Look, Pokemon community, I just want to talk. Now this shit is weird. Like, for real weird. So these are just a couple of screenshots that me and a couple other fellow Poké girls have received. Now yeah, off the bat this is like super weird, but you're forgetting that half of us are half your age. It's a bit weird. Oh, for pedophile. Sometimes I get told I'm liking Pokemon for attention, but no, I actually like Pokemon. I'm a girl and I actually like Pokemon, you know.
Insert small flex.
Wow, look, I actually own Pokemon things, wow. So yeah, this is just a reminder that women aren't in the community for your use of them. They actually enjoy the community, so please stop sending them DMs like this. Like please stop. We don't like it. You look stupid. Please stop. Thanks. Bye. Sorry, I can't take shit like this seriously. Hi guys, Dawnspiplup here. I didn't think we'd be doing this again, but we are, and I do not have a lot of time, so I'm going to be very quick. So basically this guy put this stuff on his story, it's super offensive, and he claims it's not offensive, so I wanted to educate some people on why this is actually offensive. If you know why this is offensive, you can continue watching and view some of my collection. So some people were saying to me, Fiona, it's just a bad joke. So his first portrayal of woman was, oh my god, I'm such a Pokemon fan, in his caption. Now this shows that he thinks that women are fake Pokemon fans and only do it for likes or whatever, I don't even know. He's also completely undermining the woman body positivity movement by stating, just showing my cleavage to get a couple more followers. Lots of women have been hugely unhappy with their bodies, and posting a photo like that can be very empowering, so you doing that is very, very offensive again. I think you just need to remind it that not everything's for you, we don't collect Pokemon for you, we don't post these pictures for you. If you're mad they get more likes than you, then make better content. Thank you.
So to get started with the conversation, I was actually just going to ask you about your experiences in the community and what has motivated you to make these videos.
Well, like, it's kind of a couple things. I feel like when I first joined the community, there was one man who commented on my post. It was like the first thing I ever received, like, negative. And he was like, Pokemon girls these days. No, he said OnlyFans girls these days. And I replied and I was like, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I don't have one. And he was like, I've got the screenshot, but like, he was almost like, I posted a picture of me with like a Pokemon card or something, and he was just like completely like slut shaming me. It was so strange. And but that was like that was nearly a year ago now. So that happened, and then like I didn't really experience anything else. But then, like you said in your most recent video, I don't know if it's your most recent one of your videos, you said that it's like kind of coming up a lot more now on Instagram, on everything, about like women using Pokemon cards, women using themselves to sell Pokemon cards, and women using Pokemon cards to get, I don't know, well known. I don't know what they think, but like, you understand. And like, yeah, I think it's resurfacing. Like that was my first experience, and then it was like a big break where I didn't really experience anything. I was just kind of meeting people, and then now it's like resurfaced. It's definitely resurfaced. I completely agree with that part.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things that you've shared recently, and I use the word cool very lightly. I use it as I'm very excited that you're doing this work.
Yeah.
And that you have the I mean, you shouldn't have to, but the fact that it's happening and we're getting voices out is exciting to me. But I think one of the examples that you've recently shared is the one with like the cleavage and the idea that like women and femme presenting are using our cleavage to get more likes and affection.
Yeah, I feel like that video was very misunderstood by some people as well. They were saying that I was like I said to you before, like they were saying I was quite sensitive, and my issue was I had spoken to the woman who the man had sent me the photo of, and she was uncomfortable, and that was why it wasn't a joke anymore, because she was uncomfortable, and he clearly directed it at her, you know. And I find that wrong, but like it's just kind of dumb, because it's like that's our bodies. Like, we're not going to cover our bodies, and like if I'm wearing a top and my cleavage is out and I decide, oh, actually I want to post a picture right now, that I shouldn't have to think like, oh, actually let me put a jumper on first, you know.
And
it's not, sometimes it's just not for those reasons. Sometimes you genuinely are just wearing that top at that time. You get me? Like, there's no need to make it like a thing that we've like decided to wear that, this and that in order to post this picture, in order for this person, that person, that person, you know. That's so strange.
I've seen some women in the community actually talk about people sliding into their DMs and saying like, people are sliding in my DMs and I'm wearing a baggy t-shirt and jogging pants, so we know that it's not happening.
Exactly. I'm completely the same, because every time people have spoken, so someone actually commented on that video as well, you're just salty, why don't you post pictures like that then if you're so like sensitive about it? And I was almost like, well, like that's not the point of the video, you know. I was like, I'm not, she can post what she wants, you know. I'm proud of whatever she posts, you know. And if I wanted to post that, then yeah, I would, but I haven't, and that's my choice, you know. And that's also their choice, and I get where you're coming from. I've received harassment, and I've not got any really skin up on my page at all, but that's purely just because I'm quite young and I don't really know the community that well, so it's just me taking my own form of like protection, but it's nothing to do with like, I still believe that all the women in the community should be able to do that without all this stuff happening to them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, again, I don't love it, but the fact that you're curating your page because you understand that there's a risk and that there's a danger is something that is actually not okay, right? Like, I understand why you're doing it, but the fact that like, I'm young and I don't post a lot of photos of myself because I don't want to be a victim of harassment, that is such an important statement.
The other thing is, a lot of times people have been like, you could like you could post in wearing this or wearing that, like, I don't know, those like Pikachu bodysuits or whatever, and they were like, oh, and you'd like totally like blow up, but like, why would you want to be known for doing that? And I was like, almost like, if I want to do that, then I can do that. Like, I don't know why you're making it such a negative thing, you know?
Yeah, and it's almost like there can't be a variety of female
exactly
representation.
And the other problem was the women or femmes, whoever, who like to wear those costumes, they're automatically saying like, you don't deserve the attention you're getting. But then like, I'll get told like I should do that for attention. So it's just there's like all these comments that are like really backhanded, just going back and forth. And it's almost like, sorry before I say this, I don't mean all men, but it's almost like the men who are saying this are just constantly, they'll find a woman, and if they wear baggy clothes like me, they'll say that I should wear less for attention. And if they're wearing less clothes, they'll be like, you're only doing that for attention. You don't deserve where you've gotten to because all you've done is show your body. Does that make sense? So there's like, it's like, even if I like flip the coin and I start doing that, I would still receive the same stuff. And even if they flip the coin and start doing that, they'd still receive the same stuff.
Yeah, I actually, it's interesting talking to you about your experiences, because I feel like my experiences of harassment have been very different, mainly because, as you know, or as many people who watch this know, my page is very centered around queer representation of Pokemon. So
yeah.
I don't get the harassment in my DMs in the same way. I think partly because I think straight men are scared of like queer women to some extent, that they're not going to go in their DMs.
That completely. I can understand.
I think if you're openly,
I share the same idea. Yeah. Definitely.
I think if you're like openly queer, straight men don't necessarily want to go into your DMs, but I get a lot of public harassment, and mostly people saying like Pokemon's not queer or you're stupid, and like calling me stupid when I've actually done empirical research about it, like read full-on articles that were published by like doctors, and I'm still considered stupid, and it's mostly men who are saying that. And the thing that I find really frustrating, and this goes back to like the femme representation, is that I'm not the only person or the first person to say Pokemon is queer, yet I'm getting that harassment. And if you go onto YouTube, there's a ton of queer men who have said it, and they're not getting half the amount of harassment that I'm getting.
Completely.
I just don't know what it is about women having, or like femme having these targets on our or their backs, where it's like, oh, you must be doing this for attention, and we don't want to hear it.
It's really strange. It's like super, super duper strange, and I don't really understand it, to be honest, you know, because it's like the community is kind of split, because I've met like the most amazing people, you know, and you're all amazing, like you all chat to me, you interact with me lovely, you know, like it's really like nice and healthy. And then there's just this side of like not nice stuff, you know, and I feel like there's some really supportive people, but like you're saying, those people like just they pull everything down, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like what you're doing is really good. Like, you're making a representation for people that haven't previously had a representation, which is amazing. You know, that's really, really good. But they'll, like, try and make anything out of it that's negative that they can. But what they say doesn't make sense, you know?
Well, I know you've had a lot of that recently, where you're like, somebody will comment and come up with some type of argument against your post, and then they'll bring in something that is completely irrelevant.
Exactly. And they were like having arguments about people of color. Like, they were like, person of color can't experience this, they do it to themselves. And like, I was like, dude, that's wrong. And two, my post is about the Pokemon community and femmes and women. Like, we're talking about every skin color. Every ethnicity. We are not talking about, like, we are literally talking about all women, people who feel, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't understand what they were trying to do. And it's kind of crazy. Like, people were out DMing me, like, these people are crazy. But then there were also people being like, you're sensitive. So that's what I mean by, like, there's nobody who's, like, really neutral. Everyone's, like, full on, you know, like, open, you know, 2020, let's just accept everybody, let's calm down, you know. And then there's like the other side, and this other side is like what we're talking about, obviously.
Do you feel like it's platform generated? Like, I feel like I see a lot more the misogyny on YouTube. I mean, there's obviously, it happens on Instagram when you post something and there's comments, but I've been in this hole lately of YouTubing or searching on YouTube misogynistic videos, and right now there's a bunch of these. I'm doing a video on this, I'm so excited about it, but there's a bunch of men now rating the waifus or the waifus about like waifu cards based off of like their attraction, and I'm just like, that is such
like in Pokemon, or in like just anime in general.
Well,
Pokemon.
They're doing Pokemon. I mean, they've done anime in general, but they're doing it specifically to Pokemon now.
I did in my video. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, you did. I think you did. You commented on it. I put up a video and I was like, can we please stop calling Marnie and Lily waifus?
Yes.
And someone commented, I don't care. And I was like, well, like, you should care, you know? Yeah. And someone was like, but they're just cartoons. And I was like, but the morals should still be there. Like, that's like saying, oh, I'm making fun of a woman, but she's in a cartoon, so it doesn't matter. Like, you're still thinking the same ideas.
Well, it's definitely related, right? Like the harassment
Yeah,
and
yeah,
misogyny we're
exactly,
seeing in the community
It's just
to
a
women
bit weird.
is
I don't like that either.
it's the same. It's the same comments as they're making on these cards. And
Yeah,
I think in some ways,
completely. Well, obviously, like I said in my video, like they're cool and all, you know. Like I love the way they like dress the Pokemon trainers, like how they have like themes and stuff. Absolutely love it. But you can admire that without having to be like super like creepy about it, you know.
I just find it really creepy when you're in like a live and someone's like, Lily's my girlfriend. And I've seen that when I was doing a
I've
train.
seen that as well, yeah.
And I don't know. I just find that so telling of the mentality in the community.
Yeah, definitely.
What is some of the ways in which we could fight this? But I know that's a big, huge question. I don't have the answer.
I'm trying to think. Well, I was speaking to my sister, and she's gay. So she was speaking to me, and she was like, when you're speaking to these people who disagree with something, for example, like they're racist or sexist or homophobic, you need to like speak, instead of arguing with them, you need to like change their opinion. Mm-hmm. Which is that frustrates me, because I don't want to talk to these people with a calm, happy voice, you know. Yeah. But she was almost saying that like someone needs to kind of like come up and just explain why in a very, very calm manner, which I could do right now. To be fair, it's basically just that we are still human beings, and like if you wouldn't want like a guy coming up to like, for example, like your sister. Next, like imagine you were shopping, all right, and you were with your sister, and a guy came up to her and started like just like saying words to her, you know, like, oh, you look so sexy, give me a photo or whatever. You'd be like, that's weird, you know, don't do that. So like the morals shouldn't really change when it's like someone that isn't a woman in your like family or life or that means something to you, you know. It's that kind of thing. Obviously, that's with like just sexual harassment in general, but like that those same things should still apply to like the Pokemon community. So like, if I post a picture and you like reply to it with something really creepy, just think like, would I like my mom seeing this? Mm-hmm. Which obviously you wouldn't. You would not like that, you know. And there's like loads of people on TikTok who've been getting cancelled because people have been screenshotting like their really bad things they've been saying and emailing them to their parents and stuff. Like, wow. So like teaching them a lesson, but like I guess that's bad, but like the idea behind it is good, you know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If
it's accountability, yeah, it's like a conversation about accountability that I think is really important. And
yeah, because
I've been getting a lot of backlash whenever I try to call people out, you know, make them accountable. Whenever I'm like,
I'm the same. People were getting really angry at me, and they were like, you said not to show him hate, yet you showed his username. I was like, he's already changed his username. You know,
yeah.
And there were women in my messages saying like, could I ask what his username is, please? I'd like to block him. Like I wouldn't like him, and I completely understand that. So nobody, from as far as I'm aware, nobody was sending him hate, because that was never the intention. So I think people just kind of like jump to defend the man rather than understand what they've done wrong, which is the accountability thing you're talking about.
Yeah, I remember getting a lot of backlash a few videos ago when I tried to call out the biggest men in the community, and I was asking them to stand up and say, you know, that this is a problem. And I think that that's very similar to the Me Too movement. And the reason why I called it the Mewtwo is, you know, related as like a play on words.
Yeah.
But
of course.
I think the biggest thing that needs to be done is that the people with the most privilege and power in the community call out this behavior, because I think what is important is that those men or those people in power realize that their fan base is not only men and that we are also fans. And I think that that's what you've said at the beginning, that we shouldn't have to prove that we are fans of Pokemon and that we know anything.
Literally.
I'm sure you get these too. I get DMs where people are like, so like, what's your most rare card? Or like, what's your most favorite card? And I'm like, I don't feel like I need to explain that to you.
Exactly. And I've also had like a lot of people kind of like come at me for like, they're like, of course you like the cute Pokemon. Of course you like the like whatever, of course you don't like Charizard. And I'm like, well, that like a man could do that as well. Like, I'm not like, I just like that type of Pokemon. Like, that's not because I'm a woman. You know what I mean? But they put it on me. They're like, you don't even like Charizard anyway. You don't even have a Charizard card anyway.
But why does it matter? Charizard is so overrated.
Pokemon as a whole is like a whole anime series. Like, there's thousands of Pokemon. If you like any one of them, you are welcome into the Pokemon like community, you know? And that's like, it's just a bit crazy, you know?
It's also very classist. It's this idea that like you have the money to afford these big cards and that you have to have the money in order to get all these new things.
Yes.
I remember when I was a kid, I mean, first of all, if anybody comes at me for not being a real fan, I literally was alive and playing the first year they came out. Like, I was alive in 97, and I don't think a lot of people in the community were. And I just, back then it was like, you just traded on the playground, nobody cared. I mean, some people cared about like Charizards and stuff.
Yeah.
But the value is very different. And now in order to be considered of high value or high of tension in this community, you have to have the biggest things. You have to have the newest series when it comes out. And it's like, people can't afford that.
No, I completely agree. I also think that reflects really badly because like all the biggest Pokemon YouTubers have like this huge, for example, Leon Hart.
Mm-hmm.
They're projecting that like, I'm a man, I am rich kind of vibe. And there is no woman out there with that amount of product. Like on the YouTube anyway, as far as I'm aware, that does like for example, his most recent video was titled, me and some UK friends were talking about it. His most recent video was titled, I pulled a $50,000 card. And like, I don't know how I'm trying to like link this into the kind of like sexism and harassment, but it does influence people because it makes the people in the comments think that like he has it, like, without you realizing it, you are seeing a rich man. Does that make sense?
And
there's no like woman that saved up loads of her money and has like base set booster boxes. I mean, there probably is, but they're not on YouTube being like praised, and people are not like.
Well, I think what you're getting at, and it's something that I've been grappling with a lot, is the reason that these men have those things is because of their access to these platforms and how they've become so big. And the reason for their being so big is that women have always been marginalized, queer people have always been marginalized, and they don't get the same attention. And a lot of the stuff that like Leon Hart has, or like Breaking Nate, like they don't buy them. I mean, they do sometimes, but like they get product from people. How many women in the community get sent product?
Agree, yeah.
I mean, I would love to send product. I would love getting product, and like I will never be that big. I think, you know, I love Frosted Caribou, and as much as Boo's awesome, she's not that big in comparison. And she's big. She's big in our community.
Yeah, she is big.
And she's doing this groundbreaking stuff that is like so new and novel. Like nobody else is streaming gaming, actual playing and playing TCG, but she's nowhere in comparison to these men. And when I called these men out, white men were like, well, why are women asking men to like make them popular? They've worked and they've done the hustle. And that's at the root of what patriarchy is, because men's hustle will always be less work than a woman's hustle or a femme's hustle.
I can understand. So it's like all linked, so
I hear that, and I think that connection was really important that you made, because it's those people who need to call out this problem. And if they're silent,
but they won't,
then if they're just silent and they're contributing to it, then I mean, as much as they think that they're not related because they're not talking about it, they are. They're creating, and the value thing, also, can we just acknowledge that just because you pull a card, and I think a lot of women and a lot of femme we're very thoughtful about what we're doing, I think at times, and not that the men are not thoughtful, but a lot of what I've been seeing, this example of like the $50,000 card, first of all, just because you pulled it doesn't mean it actually is worth that much. That's the assumption.
That's what we were talking about. Yeah, we were saying that even at like PSA 10, someone was like, it's only like a good like 8,000. Like it's not even.
It's the 50K. Assumption that you pulled a PSAC 10 or PSAC 10 and someone's
like
gonna buy it.
Or like a BGS Black Label or something. Yeah, completely.
Like, and I don't think people reflect on that. Like, we're like, we are watching it and we're like, actually, that's not true. But if we say anything like that, or if we fight it, then we get targeted again.
I agree.
I love that you brought that up because it is definitely related.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. I agree.
Have you had any good experiences? I wanted to talk about this because I have some really great friends in the community who are at times men and straight, and I mean, they're super great fans and they help me out and stuff, and I hear sometimes that other members of the community reach out to them and will be like, how are you friends with her? Or like, are you okay with the fact that she's queer? Are you okay with what she does? Which is like such an invasion of just privacy and just such an odd.
No, what? It's really.
Yeah, I've had some of my really close friends be like, I have been asked if people care that I hang out, or if I care that you're queer or straight, or if that you're queer or gay or whatever, and I'm just like, oh, that's a thing that people have to answer.
Why do they need to know or ask or?
Well, I guess if you're like outwardly, I think this is the challenge, right? Like, we have a lot of people in the community who also want to speak up for women, and then when they do that, then they get questioned by their like bros, and then it becomes a question of toxic masculinity.
Yeah, yeah. Back to square one.
So I don't know if you've ever had anything like that.
I have really, really, really good mates in the community, and they're in the UK anyway. There's only really 2 girls I speak to, Pookie Tonks. I don't know if you know them.
No, I don't
Pookie Tonks and Vanillux.
Oh yes, Vanillux.
I love they're both really nice. But I met all the men through Vanillux because she has received the same sort of like harassment. She was like, she replied to one of my stories one day. I put up like a screenshot of a guy like saying some really weird stuff to me, and she was like, look, if you want to play like Pokemon or anything, speak to these guys. They're like super nice, not being weird to me at all ever. And like, I think that kind of like the fact that she has to tell me who's safe was just a bit of a red flag to me, but they are lovely. And I think PSA Pimp, I'm not sure if you know him, but he's quite well known in the UK. He has made like a Discord, and honestly, like, I feel like I can chat on there, and anything I say like can never be targeted because I know that he is kind of like in charge of that Discord, and I trust him. Does that make sense? So it's always good to have someone that you can like trust in charge.
How do you feel? What kind of reactions do you get while you're live on Twitch?
I've not really gotten to the point, so I'm doing good on Twitch, like I'm not putting myself down or anything, and I'm really happy about it, but I feel like it's still just kind of my bubble. So a lot of Twitch streamers, what they talk about is they've got their bubble of like their followers, and they know who comes on their stream, they can talk to them about what they want, and then there's just like our bubble of people who kind of like come in once you get to like a certain stage. So once you're averaging about like 15 viewers, you go on like the explore page and people can find you. And there's been a lot of people there who have had people go on and they just join their stream and just say a bunch of slurs to them, and they just ask questions. I have gone live on TikTok every time I've streamed, and people always join, and it's constant. Like, someone asked me what my pronouns were, and I said, I was like, I'm perfectly comfortable with any of them, but at the moment, probably they, them. And they were like, haha, you're a boy. And it's almost like, it's these like weird, like, it's just like, what? But I've never had anything that's like, compared to other people, very like violent, because I have seen violent. But apart from like those kind of comments, you know, just like they ask you what your pronouns are and you say, and then they just say something really like stupid. This like not offensive, but it's like is offensive.
Yeah, I had that recently. Well, first of all, I apologize for introducing you as she, because we
Oh no,
definitely talked
I'm
about
cool.
that
I'm
ahead.
cool. I'm cool today. Cool today.
Because I asked
Yeah.
you ahead of time, but also I'm very happy with using any pronouns that make you most comfortable. Um, the I got something very similar recently where someone just asked in my video if I was a man or woman, and I was just like, I don't know why that's relevant, but then went into my Instagram stories and was like, neither. And I got a lot of good comments on Instagram.
Oh no, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Because
Yeah,
people were like, on Instagram, I've curated my Instagram, I think purposely, kind of like what you've said. You've curated your Instagram so people don't necessarily really see your body or a lot of skin. And I've curated mine in the sense that if you say like one derogatory thing, like you're blocked and I'm not following you, and anyone can follow me, but you're most likely gonna unfollow me at one point because most people I think I'm too political. So
I posted that video, and I lost like 30 followers. I think 35 maybe. Not that I care.
no, it doesn't matter, but it's so quick.
But like it was quick. I was just refreshing because like I was really like things people were saying were really like getting to me in the moment. I'm fine now because basically all the haters came in first and then all my support came in after. You know what I mean? Rather than the other way around. But yeah, it's the unfollowing is a bit much, you know.
I notice it happens. So every time I do a giveaway, I get a lot of followers, and then as soon as I post a video, it's like it's down. I lose, like you said, like 30. I lost last week. The last video I made, I think I gained some, and then I lost like 15. So it's
see that's what happened with me. I lost like loads of people, and they all commented on my picture like unfollowing, and I was like, okay, I'm just saying that like drawing on boobs and saying that girls are fake Pokemon fans is offensive. And people were like, it's dark humor, and I was like, I literally, if you scroll right to the end, I like said like I can understand dark humor, but dark humor is something you do with people in your personal bubble who you know are comfortable about making I want to say traumatic jokes, but I can't remember the word. Someone else used the word. Poketonks uses the correct wording. But there's like there's a big difference between making dark humor about a whole category and like a friend you are very close with who you know is comfortable with it.
yeah.
That
I
makes
mean,
sense.
I don't.
Or even making self like jokes that put you down yourself. It's very different than someone else doing it to you.
Yeah, and I think that there's this line in the community about what is considered joking, and I think it's not a joke if you are, like you're saying, putting people down. If your joke requires marginalizing a community,
completely,
that is not a joke anymore. And
yeah, exactly.
That's the distinction that I think this community needs to understand. If you think it's funny, I mean, that's on you, but it's not okay, even if you think it's funny, because you might think it's funny, your bros or a couple other people might think it's funny, but I'm pretty sure the amount of people who don't think it's funny and feel hurt and victimized by it outweighs your joke. Like, that little moment of gratification that you get by saying you're sexy or this is annoying or whatever is not worth the amount of harm that people will face because of it or feel because of it.
Yeah, I completely
agree. It's like a lifetime, right? Of like, when you've been at the root of this, like, as women and femme and queer people, like, we have been marginalized our entire lives. We've heard those jokes literally every single moment of our existence. So you may feel 1 second of gratification, and that's just another, like, Lego on this, like, mountain of Legos of harassment we have felt. And that's what people don't get.
Yeah, well said.
I just want, like, now a Lego.
Yeah, no, I completely understand where you're coming from. That I agree.
So I want to say a huge thank you for you to come, for being on here and sharing your experiences, and also just taking the emotional capacity to do the work that you do. Like,
Thank
please
you for having
take
me.
some self-care and get some rest, because you've been doing a lot, and I extend that to everybody else in the community who's doing this labor and this work. Just please take some time and care for refreshing. But I wanted to show you a surprise as a thank you for being here. So I am going to gift this to you.
Oh,
as a thank you. And it's up to you if you want me to send it as is or if you want to do a rip and ship, but I wanted to really say thank you for all of your work in the community.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. That's so cute.
So it's up to you. Do you want to just keep it as is?
Let's do rip and ship.
Oh, you
want
to? Do you want to do it now?
I'm happy to do it now if you are.
Yeah, let's
do it now. Yeah.
I love doing rip and ships with people, so I will send you everything, and I really hope that we pull a Charizard
thank you so much.
You. Oh no, thank you.
Imagine.
Imagine. That would be my luck.
My first Charizard card.
Yes, because we've just been talking about
literally
about how we don't have Charizard, so we're not as cool and not as we apparently, as I also don't have Charizards. I only have a couple. We are not as cool or as deserving as respect in this community.
Of course not.
Because we don't
literally.
have
I own stuff like this, and people don't. I own stuff like this.
That's so cute.
And like these, I have like these things. Like, see, I just prefer this kind of stuff. Come on.
That's adorable. Okay.
I recommend the figures and plushies.
I do too. I have so many figures. Okay, so
at least
we got 4 or 3 of the same pack, and then the chocolate.
That's cool.
So we're gonna get into it. Okay, I'm sending you so much love and luck.
I'm excited.
Okay, so we're gonna even do like a card trick. If we pull a Charizard, I will die because you will officially be part of
the Charizard squad.
Water. All right. I'm so excited to send all of this to you. I'm so thankful for you.
I'm really excited. Thank you so much.
No worries. I am really thankful that you've done this so much. Such a last. I can't even speak anymore because we've spoken so much. But such a last minute. I think it's so important, and hopefully people who are watching this.
2 seconds.
Woo.
We've got an electrician in the house, and apparently I need to come off.
Oh, okay. Well.
Sorry.
I am so thankful
thank
that you're here.
Thank you so much for having
Please
me. I really appreciate it. And I, if anyone else or you want to do another one, feel free to invite me on because I'm really enjoying it. Because it's my second one, but I really enjoy it.
Okay, thank you so much. Take care.
No problem.
Bye. So Dawn had to leave, but I will be continuing opening their cards and sending them so much love and luck, and thank you so much for being on here. I really think that this is an important conversation. I'm thankful we were able to have it together, and let's see what we can get them. Got some love. So I would love you all to send me in the chat or in the comments below, what are your thoughts? What are some instances of misogyny you've seen? And please, if you're watching this video and you want to respond that this is not a thing that's happening or defending, just don't bother. Just don't bother. We know it's happening. Oh, wow. We know that it's happening. And again, I will never stop calling out people who need to speak out. So please speak out. Some shining fates for dawn, shining fates for dawn, shining fates for dawn. Woo, we got a shiny for dawn, yeah. Oh, wow. Excellent. Okay. Last pack magic. We need that Zard. We need Dawn to join the Zard crew so they can be officially part of the crew. Oh, I think I did this wrong. There you go. Fire. Woo, Cramorant. Some sword. Coughing. Yeah. Cacnea. Who's got a Cacnea? Ooh, another Eevee. Eevee love. Schninks. Want to give another big thank you and shout out to Dawnspiplup for doing the work that they've been doing. Follow them on Instagram. Follow them on Twitch. And support femme, women, and female presenting people in the community. It's incredibly important because we contribute so much. We have so much love for Pokemon, and it's really important. So please, 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 please subscribe, follow on, and I'm sending you all some love and compassion this week. Take care.